behalf of JRA's Planning Officer, Murray McLennan, I welcome you to our video overview of our nomination. The Landcare Awards turned out to be a catalyst for JRA to create this visual record of the environmental achievements by our residents over the last 12 years. Let me tell you about our project from commencement in 2009 until the current time. Back in 2009, JRA Executive decided they should create a suburban enhancement project to engage our residents and at the same time make an environmental contribution to our suburb. Our chosen reclaim and revegetation project site is located on Transport Main Roads land, located between the high timber barrier of the Centenary motorway on the eastern side and Anderman Street on the western extremity. The goal of our project was to provide a visual display to these motorists that Jamboree residents cared about their suburb and maybe they might reciprocate and slow down a wee bit. The initial project, called the Anderman Strip, was a narrow 550 metre long strip of land of approximately 1 hectare. In 2009, JRA applied and was granted a road corridor permit with Transport Main Roads along a 4-kilometre section of Centenary Bikeway under the Adopt the Road scheme organised by Keep Queensland Beautiful. These permits authorise volunteer groups to collect litter and install plants and trees where they so chose. Under the Clean Up Australia campaign and over 7 years, the JRA organised litter collection along the corridor. Hundreds of bags of litter were collected. In the northern extremity of the basin, where the slope is secured with boulders, large boulders. The area is predominantly in shade, provided by the foliage of 3 Florida imported pine species above them. The terrain and shade conditions are ideal for planting ground cover plants including Grevillea creepers and broadleaf species. Natural rain is sufficient to maintain this vegetation, but occasional weed control occupies the efforts of our volunteers. Each day, hundreds of Cinnamon Park residents view the spot on their way to the shopping centre via the under motorway walking tunnel, and many favourable comments are received by our volunteers. On the eastern extremity of the detention basin, it has poor quality soil and is always in direct sunlight. We therefore predominantly chose Calmistemons and Grevillea species comprising numerous flowery colourings in this location. The plants were installed in larger than normal receiving holes and embedded with induced rich soil, water retarding beads and fertilisers. During the first couple of years, in times of minimal rainfall, our volunteers watered regularly by pumping from a nearby creek. This area is the entry location of a 2 metre by 2 metre stormwater pipe under the shopping centre that allows the passage of Mount Omni Creek water runoff to reach the Brisbane River. These plants now have 3 years of growth and each year the blooms are increasing. The floor of the basin. This location was heavily infested with all types of unwanted species, devil figs, wild tobacco, lantana, etc. After this vegetation was removed, rock work associated with the creek bank rail alignment was necessary to prevent silt movement towards the underground under-centre storm pipes. Because in times of major storms the runoff water spills over the creek bank, we decided to only plant taller species, trees with protection